32 Development Academy clubs came to Oceanside, California, and after today, only 8 will remain, as 2 of those clubs are Real Salt Lake and Baltimore Armour. With both teams have a chance to win Group A today, Real Salt Lake needs just a draw, while the Baltimore Armour need all 3 points. I'm your host, Mark Serban. It's a pleasure to be with you as the Baltimore Armour looking to make the quarterfinals for the first time in their history in just their 3rd year of existence. It's been a tremendous upward trajectory for this club, and if they are going to get past Real Salt Lake today, they need Jacob Williams firing on all cylinders. Williams, committed to Navy, has 20 goals in just 27 games this season. Real Salt Lake has been one of the flagship clubs for this development academy, have been to the finals, have won the Style Award on multiple occasions, one of the best teams that you will see here in Oceanside this week. And Sebastian Soto, 44 goals in 29 games this season. U.S. U-20 International leading this Real Salt Lake side, looking to go 3 for 3 here in Group A of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy playoffs. So we are all set here on the final match day at the U-18-19 level. Real Salt Lake need just a draw to advance. Baltimore Armour need all 3 points. The kickoff is next here on USSoccerDA.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SoCal Sports Complex Stadium Field for today's feature match between Real Salt Lake and the Baltimore Armour.
At this time, we ask you to please stand, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. At the end of 90 minutes, either Real Salt Lake or the Baltimore Armour will be heading on to the quarterfinals on Monday here at the U-18-19 level. I'm your host, Mark Serban. It's a pleasure to be with you for this top of the Group A table clash between these 2 clubs, as Real Salt Lake comes in off the back of a 4-2 win over BW Gotchi on match day 1 and a 3-2 win against Orlando City on match day 2. 6 points, need just a draw to advance today. Well, the Baltimore Armour, coming in as the 11th seed in the tournament, had a 1-1 draw against Orlando City on match day 1 and a 1-0 win over BW Gachi on match day 2 to set themselves up for this match. They need all 3 points if they're going to advance. Good look at your refereeing crew for this afternoon. Chris Ruska will be the center referee out of Minnesota. On the near touch line, the AR1 is Ian Maggione out of Connecticut. On the far side, Jorge Colon out of Cal South. And the man in between the benches is Fernando Fierro, also out of Cal South. Baltimore Armour, just their 3rd year in existence, had both the 16s and the 18s make it to the playoffs last year. Now at the U-18-19 level, they're back looking for their first ever quarterfinal appearance. Well, Real Salt Lake, they've won the U.S. Soccer Development Academy and have been to the semifinals and finals weekend on multiple occasions. Coming in as the number 6 seed, have scored a staggering 116 goals. Their 109 goals during the regular season was the 2nd best offense of the Development Academy. Only Crossfire Premier had more with 125. Peter Maggione trying to rev up his Baltimore Armour squad. They will be kicking off in their all-black kits with white trim, attacking to your left. Well, Real Salt Lake, white kits, claret and cobalt trim attacking to your right as we're underway for the final 90 minutes in Group A. Real Salt Lake and the Baltimore Armour playing for the right to move on to the final 8 in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy U-18-19 Championships. It's the Armour looking to attack early. They've broken in between the lines here. Can they breach that back line? It's a good ball out wide. It's Mayer getting forward, but the offside flag is up. But a good early attack for the Maryland side. An chance for Real Salt Lake to establish their first attack of the game. David Ochoa in goal for Real Salt Lake made his pro debut in April for Real Monarchs SLC against the Tampa Bay Rowdies in the USL. He's also spent time with the U.S. Youth National Team camps, as have many of these players. Real Salt Lake moving from Casa Grande, Arizona to Zions Bank Real Academy, 20 minutes from Rio Tinto Stadium, 123 acres campus, and it is astonishing. There's a chance for Real Salt Lake early on. As Babakian tried to play it through, U20 Armenian International's pass was cut out. And it's a good win by Sordo. 16 goals in 28 games for Sordo. Has scored 34 goals over the last 2 Development Academy seasons. The number 9 for the Baltimore Armour. And here he is chasing now as Real Salt Lake, very patient, will work the ball out of the back. Plays some of the most aesthetically pleasing soccer that you will see here in the Development Academy of Real Salt Lake. It's what they've been known for, have won the Style Award on numerous occasions. Stephen Hasso wins the free kick for Real Salt Lake. Quickly taken by Verhin to the far side. Looking forward for Ledesma to chase it down. Ledesma last year at the 15-16 level was voted to the Western Conference Best 11. He, along with Sebastian Soto, both given that honor last year. Soto won the Golden Boot at the US U20's last international tournament. He's already set a staggering 44 goals in just 29 appearances coming into today. Scored in the 4-2 win over BW Gachi on match day 2. But it's the Armour who are attacking. Overlap on the far side. Pierre gets back to defend. Comes inside to Williams. Quick 1-2 with Nichols. Williams was trying to get it forward for Sordo, but it's cleared away by RSL. Hint of a handball, but advantage is played. Mayer tried to play it in and smartly let through by the defender to his goalkeeper, David Ochoa. 17-year-old will pick it up and quickly throw it out. Good distribution from Ochoa, and it's Real Salt Lake to work their way down the far side. Neither side has really yet established a period of possession, but it's early days here, and it's Soto who's off to the races. The chance could be on here for Real Salt Lake. That's great defending. It takes Ledesma out wide, but Ledesma ran out of bounds before he was able to hit it off the defender. So it'll be a goal kick for the Baltimore Armour, and defended well despite the fact that Ledesma was able to get away. This one of 625 games being played at the U.S. Soccer Development Academy over the next 2 weeks in Oceanside, California. Almost 7,000 players descending on Oceanside starting this Monday and going into next week with both the Boys and Girls Development Academy playoffs and showcases. 400 teams here in Oceanside over this week and next. Won by Toyaga. Mayer. Back for Tombini. Committed to Old Dominion University, Tombini. The Armour work it around the back in the 5th minute. And this is David Tombini, Olney native, coming forward. Good ball slipped in by Mayer. Sordo dispossessed. And Verhin gets it back to Canales, finds his keeper, and under pressure has to hack it away. So it'll be a throw-in for the Baltimore Armour. Finished 3rd in the Atlantic Division with a record of 17-5-4. 62 goals. Over half of those scored by the combination of Williams and Sordo up top. Skipping away is Luis Arriaga. Arriaga, the assist leader, looking for another one here, but it was just too tall for Soto. El Soto looking for his 45th goal this season. Nearly found it as Arriaga had a step down the left-hand side. It was a good cross in, but couldn't climb the ladder high enough, Soto. But Real Salt Lake have the ball on the far side. Sordo looking forward for Williams. Canales spins away from him and gets it back to Verhin. Nicknamed Gallo, or Rooster, as it is in Spanish, Eric Verhin. Near side, Hasso. Hasso looking to win it back. Instead it falls to Toyaga. And clipped it in for Soto, but the offside flag is up. So it's the Armour to go down the far side in the 7th minute. Back for Webert. Looking forward for Williams. Williams wins the throw-in. Quickly inside for Nichols. Won back by RSL. And the Armour will overtake in midfield. Tombini able to get it inside. Well stepped in, and the ball played to the forward man in Soto. He turns, realized he was 1-on-4, and lays it off. Verhin comes back to receive. He'll be the link between defense and attack for RSL. Toyaga. Clipped in. It's looking for the run of Arriaga, but coming off his line to take is Craig Elkoberger. He's committed to the University of Maryland. Elkoberger, 21st start and goal this season for the Baltimore Armour. As he smashes it downfield looking for Williams. Take a look as this ball was clipped in, and Arriaga's making the run. Good job by Tombini to shield him off. And coming to the extreme of his penalty area to take was Craig Elkoberger. And it will be a free kick for the keeper. Oh. Looking for Williams. Headed away by Pierre. Flying in is Toyaga to win it back for Real Salt Lake. Pumps it downfield. And it's won back by Arriaga. Hasso getting forward. Verkin exchanges passes with Hasso. Hasso looking for options. The rest of the Real Salt Lake Academy is over in the corner, cheering the Claret and Cobalt on. RSL has had over 24 players from its academy sign pro deals. It's produced so many good players for the college and professional level RSL. So that's going to be a heavy challenge. Williams will be whistled for the foul, and it will be a free kick for RSL. Maggioni giving the ball back to the referee. And Williams just getting a talking to from Chris Ruska. This one will come back to Ochoa.
Come on, Chris. Come on. Jacob, come on.
It's another look at the challenge. He did come in. Didn't seem to be too much malice in it. Studs weren't showing. Referee still right to point for a free kick. As Granados tried to play it forward. It's Real Salt Lake to go the other way. Will pass their way out of the back in the 11th minute. Hasso taking the space in front of him. Getting it forward to Soto. Lovely target play from the number 9. And it's out to the far side. Soto's in the center. Instead cutting in, and the shot is blocked. Excellent effort by Ben Detweiler to get a foot in. And the captain with a crucial block for the Baltimore Armour. Tombini's throwing. And headed out for a corner kick. First of the game for either side. And it goes the way of the Baltimore Armour. So that one off the head of Canales. And now coming over to take is Peter Maggioni. Playing up from the 2001s. He's just a rising junior, Maggioni. It'll be an in-swinger. 6 players crashing the box for the Armour. It's a good ball in. The header off the crossbar from Williams and bounces out after landing on the crossbar for a second time. But it's the Armour who've created the game's first chance. And how close it was. Williams with a thumping header. Unlucky to see it come off the crossbar as Ochoa was beat. So close to his 21st goal of the season, Williams. Tombini tried to clip it forward. Intercepted by Williams. Cantor will get it out wide. Good job by Granados to chase it down. Granados, top of the box, Williams. Still going Williams, looking to engineer a bit of space. Williams is able to shoot, but it's right down the goalkeeper's alley. Still a great job to find that half yard of space to get the shot off from Jacob Williams. But Ochoa was well positioned. But back in. Canales turns it back to his keeper. Verhin sprays it out wide. Pierre gets it back in the middle for Verhin. Looking for options. Has Doyaga to his right, instead looking to play it over the top, and that's well defended. It was Webert who got his foot in. This one getting caught in the wind will drift out of bounds for an RSL throw-in. Toyaga will spend time in the Youth Canadian National Team camp. And this is Pierre. Delence Pierre plays it back. Canales has Hasso. And Hasso will use the safety valve in his keeper. Wind really starting to pick up in Oceanside. I'll give you a hint as to where it's coming off of. Oh, it's a neat layoff. It's a good one, too. It's Maggioni. The flag stays down. Plays it across, and the shot cleared off the line. Lovely combination play from the Baltimore Armour, and it nearly produced the game's opening goal. Frustration on the face of Stephen Nichols. This is a great job shielding off the keeper and laid off from Maggioni for Nichols, but his shot saved on the line. And it's going to be a throw-in for Tombini. Sorto with the header. Canales got up and won the second ball. Now fighting for the third ball. Hits off the referee and falls kindly for Verhin. He'll take the space on the far side. Now picks his head up. Has only two players to find forward. And with a Real Salt Lake player down in the box, Verhin just smashes it out of bounds. So there was definitely a collision going for that second ball off the throw-in. It's Steven Hasso who's struggling. 17-year-old playing his 29th game of the season. Looks to be all right. Looks like he just needs a second to shake off the cobwebs. Canales and Ochoa checking on him. Hasso's looked good getting forward. Baltimore have almost carved open his RSL back line on a couple of occasions, though. One header off the post, another ball cleared off the line. So RSL living dangerously at the moment. Came into this match having won 5 of their last 6, outscoring their opponents 19-7. Many of these players were in the U-15-16 side that made it to the semis last year before losing to FC Dallas, eventual runners-up to Atlanta United. Canales, well, it was a tough ball for Verhin, but he's able to get it back to his keeper. Long searching ball for Ledesma to chase, instead brought down by Granados, who's playing in place of the injured Joshua Morgan Granados. And this is Canner to bring it forward for the Maryland side. Well, that's a good challenge, but the ball will remain with the Armour. Arriaga picks his head up, finds the overlapping run. It's Arriaga. And his shot took a deflection on the way, so it'll be a corner kick for Real Salt Lake. It was a good job by Detweiler to get his foot in once again. It's his second block of the game, Detweiler. The captain, who will play his college ball at Drexel, will have to defend this corner kick. Keeper came out, didn't get it. Clipped back into the danger area. It might fall for Hasso. Hasso goes down, and the referee said it's not enough to warrant a penalty. He did receive a little bit of a barge from Reese Mayer. The referee feeling Hasso might have gone down a bit too easily. But you see Mayer come over. You see the arm go out just a little bit. Nothing to warrant a penalty. Good no call from the referee. You could see what Mayer thought about Hasso going to ground. It was a good job, though, to keep that ball in from Bebekian. Still 0-0 in the 19th minute. A long way to go in this one, but a draw suits RSL just fine. Came in today on 6 points, while the Baltimore Armour on 4. Ledesma switched flanks to this near side. But back in. Verhin. Pierre was making a run down the far side, but stepping in the passing lane and cutting it off was Granados. And this will be a free kick for Williams. But nothing more, says the referee. So it's Granados who stands over it. Baton being called over. The referee having a word with him. That's good refereeing from Chris Riska, keeping his cards in his pocket early on. Just a warning for Baton. Pierre with the interception. Oh, it's nimble footwork down the far side. Real Salt Lake looking to take off. The Armour do well to recover, and the ball over the top, looking for the run of Sordo. There's a lot of work to track it down, and in the end, won't be able to. So it'll be a throw-in for Real Salt Lake in the 21st minute. Hasso coming over to retrieve the ball. Hasso. Canales swipes it forward. Headed right back in. Canales. Over to Natai Baton. The Israeli gets it out wide for Pierre. Back in for Verhin. Ledesma's checking in. He wants it in the center circle, and he'll get it. Has Hasso on the overlap. And he'll use Hasso. Good interchange of passes with Verhin. And RSL will hit the reset button against a very organized Baltimore Armour side. It's a squad that looks to be organized on defense and strong in the transition. And we've seen that in the way they've tried to catch RSL on the break through these first 21 plus minutes, as it goes off of Granados and out of bounds. Head coach Mike Marciano saying this is a great experience for his player, playing in a big-time competition and the pressure that comes with it, as well as learning about the professionalism and preparations that are required, not only on the field, but off it, in order to succeed. Hasso. Inside for Ledesma. The space is opened up. It's Arriaga. Still going Arriaga, and it hit off his hand. So it's a get-out-of-jail-free card for the Baltimore Armour. And there you saw another transition play, trying to take that free kick quickly. But the referee said the ball wasn't on the exact spot. As here it is, and unlucky as it just bounced up off his hand. Granados was still able to get it away from him. This is a good ball in from Ledesma, and good defending from Granados as well, not to allow the opening for Arriaga to get that shot off. Eckelberger's free kick. Pierre's header to send it the other way. Soto kills it instantly. Gorgeous first touch from the U-20 international. And Arriaga gets it out wide to Hasso. Hasso, he's forward again here, into the path of Ledesma. Ledesma gets it across. Eckelberger spills it. And it'll be a goal kick. But Real Salt Lake have really grown into this game after being on the back foot for much of the early going. So it was a beautiful ball threaded in. And then Ledesma did well just to keep this in bounds and make it tough for Eckelberger. It's another look again, and just trying to get it away from goal. In the end, didn't have the angle to get it away from the keeper. Mayer. Tombini. Detweiler. Back to Detweiler. Captain floats it over the top, and Canales got there before Mayer. About the halfway point of this first half. Still 0-0 between Real Salt Lake and the Baltimore Armour. Williams came closest for the Armour, hitting the crossbar with a header off of a corner kick. Couple of half chances for Real Salt Lake, but Detweiler has 2 blocks and keep those shots from going in and testing the likes of Elkerberger in the Armour goal. Soto. Tombini was over in cover. Cantor. Webert. Just trying to find Sorto on the far side. It will be a throw-in for the Armour. Detweiler gets it out wide for Webert. Rising senior Webert is looking for this near side for Mayer. Instead, it's won back by RSL. Good work by the attackers to try and apply pressure, but that's the cue for the midfield to step up. They didn't there, and that's why RSL was able to play out of it. Now looking to chisel their way down the far side. Into the middle it comes. Ledesma running right at the heart of the Armour back line. Plays it through, Soto's onside, and a great save from Elkelberger. Soto goes down at the top of the box, and it's a free kick in a very dangerous position for Real Salt Lake. So it was Ledesma threading another ball through. Soto so quick with his feet, and Weber could only bring him down. See Soto just lifting it over the foot of Tombini. So it's Ledesma who's over it. It's Ledesma! Pushed aside by Eichelberger. And the second ball smothered by the keeper. Good work from the future Maryland Terrapin. So he did so well to get it up and over the wall, but Eichelberger was equal to the task. And then the ball coming back in, and it was right in Eichelberger's range to smother. Did so well not only to make the save, but to push it out wide rather than giving up a juicy rebound in the middle. Oh, RSL have turned the tide in this match, yet we're still at zeros. Thanks to the crossbar on one side and some great goalkeeping on the other.
Drop in, Chris. Drop in, Chris. Chris, drop in. Just relax.
Sprayed to the far side by Verhin. Pierre. Toyaga wants it in the middle. Instead, it's going to come all the way back. Baton swings it over. Hasso. Lovely touch to lob it over Mayer. Hosko comes away from the scrum with it. another throw in for Hasso. It's been ever present inside the first 30 minutes. RSL's last game was a 4-2 win over BW Gachi, but they were very comfortable until the 89th minute. We're up 4-0 until giving up 2 goals in 2 minutes. So still, that game was the result was not in doubt well until late in the game. So much more comfortable win than that scoreline seemed. Hasso. Armour coming in off a big 1-0 win over BW Gachi to set up this showdown. It was the substitute Yassine El Cahoun who scored in the 76th minute of that game. And that's where we stand coming into today, the final match day here at the U-18-19 U.S. Soccer Development Academy playoffs. A draw or a win for RSL, and they'll go through to the quarterfinals. A win for the Baltimore Armour, and they will be the team marching on. The semifinals and finals will be held in Kansas City next month as the spaces open up here, and the shot pushed aside by Eichelberger. Just past the half hour, the ball lost in a very dangerous position, and Soto trying to seek out that far post, but Eichelberger had other ideas. So it'll be the second corner kick of the game for RSL. Pierre making a run to the near post. It almost found Pierre, but a diving header to get it away from him. It's only as far as Verhin gets it out wide. Cross comes in, headed away by Sordo. Push forward for Williams. Williams, good movement to go on the overlap. It allows the run to come inside. Tobini jumps into the attack. Slides it inside for Sordo. Sordo will leave it off. Sordo continued his run, and it's lifted over him and into the arms of Ochoa. Real Salt Lake missing Vladimir Mendoza today through injury. Head coach Martin Vasquez saying that Mendoza has been one of their best players throughout these playoffs. Well, so much of this development academy is how do you deal with adversity? We'll see how Real Salt Lake responds here today. So far, it's a result that would put them through to the quarterfinals, but still just under an hour to go in Oceanside. Quarterfinal matches will be played on Monday, with the 4 winners advancing to Kansas City. Semifinals on July 8th, and the championship and third place game on July 10th. It's a nice spin from Sordo. He has the run of Mayer. Mayer's cross was overcooked. And Pierre gets some space on the far side. In for Arriaga. Back to Verhin. Leaves it off on the far side. That ball played right to Mayer. Baltimore looking to break. It hit a hand. The referee saying it was ball to hand rather than hand to ball as Hasso was slipping. Baton gets it off to Canales. He'll bring it forward for RSL in the 34th minute. Ledesma flights it over to the far side. It's a determined run by Bebekian, and it leads to a throw-in for RSL. Into the feet of Ledesma. Forward for Arriaga. Back out for Pierre. Baton for RSL.
Ahead, Joe! Steven, you're next. Steven, you're next. Ahead, Jacob! Go ahead, Chris. Come on, 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 Chris. Jacob, jump in. Peter, you're here.
Baton, in his first year with the RSL Academy, gets it out wide. Pierre. It's a good spin from Bebekian. That ball looking for Arriaga inside. Cleared by Tombini. And off of Toyaga last, so it'll be a throw-in for Baltimore in the 36th minute. This will be a throw-in rather than a free kick, or a free kick rather than a throw-in, I should say, and it goes the way of RSL. Ledesma. It's been patient from RSL. Side that loves to move the ball on the ground. Philosophy described as wanting to play an attractive, possession-oriented style of play, said that our fans can recognize and be proud of. You've certainly seen that possession and attractiveness here in these first 36 minutes. Baltimore Armour have played some very attractive stuff themselves. So it's 0-0 in these final 9 minutes of the opening period. Ledesma, he'll spin back with it. Soto's in a foot race, and Soto will be whistled for the foul as Detweiler went down. Detweiler had the angle, and once he got to the ball, did very well to shield it off of Soto. In the end, the only thing Soto could do was go through him. Hasso punches it forward. Ledesma chasing. And this time it's Tombini who makes the clearance. Will be a throw-in for RSL deep in Armour territory. Vergen brings down the long ball. Pierre cutting inside. Has Arriaga ahead of him. Instead gets it off to Soto. Ledesma stands up to Mayer. Off for Hasso. He cuts in inside, but Ledesma unable to catch up to it in time. And it'll be a goal kick for Eichelberger. A good ball for Ledesma. Just too much on it. Was unable to track it down. You can see almost got there in time. But with his momentum carrying him away, even if he had rolled it back, Baltimore would have been able to take that ball and get out of their box. Tombini clears it right into Arriaga and makes a good sliding challenge. Mayer. Cantor. Maggioni. Get it out wide for Webert. Gets it back from Nichols. This is Maggioni. Looking to go over the top of RSL. Nichols in a battle with Pierre. Good job by Pierre, matching him step for step and muscling him off the ball. Bebekian running into a bit of trouble, but he gets the relief of the referee's whistle. It's Verhin, and he quickly takes the free kick, and the referee's going to pull it back, as he wanted to have a word with Nichols. It's another look at the chance from Hasso, and switch to the foul, and it was Sordo bringing down Verhin. Oh, and almost pounding on a miscue was Williams. Ochoa coming out. And he'll fall on it in his box and quickly rolls it out. Toyaga turns, realizes he has time. Inside for Soto. Arriaga unable to bring that down as it was fizzed into him. Inside the final 5 minutes, the first half. 0-0 between Real Salt Lake and the Baltimore Armour. A free kick for RSL. Only been held scoreless once this season. So far, the Armour has defended very well against them. Couple of good saves made by Eichelberger. Other than that, it's been a very evenly played affair here. Williams hit the crossbar with a header for Baltimore. High pressure paying off. Can Maggioni take advantage? He's got Williams to his right, instead slips it to his left. It's Sordo who's in, it's at the back post, and the shot is over. Mistake in the back, almost punished. As that was a beautiful no-look pass, and Sordo did well to bring it down. Ochoa got something on it. Pierre with an important intervention at the back post to get it away from Williams. And then Maggioni's shot went over the crossbar. There's that foot in from Pierre. It fell kindly for Maggioni. Had two players flying in on him. Just couldn't keep his effort on target. So very nearly taking the lead toward the end of this first half, but Baltimore Armour. The Real Salt Lake Academy players trying to will their 18-19s forward. So far, they're being pressed back by the high pressure of the Baltimore Armour. And it's one again in midfield. Nichols pops it out wide, but Pierre gets there first. Bebekian brings it down. Bebekian overran it, somehow able to get it back. He's unable to bulldoze his way down the far side, so it's going to be a throw-in for Baltimore. Baltimore, such a hotbed for soccer. And of course, the home of Christos FC, the amateur side that made it to the 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup last year before falling to DC United. Verhin able to get it off to Canales. Over for Hasso. Was looking for the run of Ledesma. And even though the ball went out of bounds, it'll come back to RSL for a free kick. So it was good advantage played by the referee. Final minute and a half of the opening frame. If it stays 0-0, it's RSL who will go through. Came in today on 6 points, Baltimore on 4. As Toyaga gets it out wide. Long ball looking for the run of Ledesma. Headed away. Arriaga. Far side, Bebekian. Has Arriaga and Soto to find in the box. Instead, goes back with it for Verhin. This is Toyaga. Ooh, Pierre was making a good run inside on the far side, but instead it comes back to Verhin. Toyaga. Hasso. Verhin. Out wide for Ledesma. Arriaga trying to find a seam in this Armour defense. Rolled out for Ledesma. Ledesma takes the inside track. He's still going Ledesma. He tried to poke it out wide for Pierre, but it's cleared away. And no stoppage time necessary, says referee Chris Ruska. After 45 minutes, it's RSL 0, Baltimore 0. Chances at both ends. Williams hitting the post for Baltimore, while RSL twice denied by tremendous saves from Craig Elkoberger in the Armour goal. 45 minutes down, 45 minutes to go. We're scoreless at the break here on USSoccerDA.com, and we'll be back with you for the second half action between Real Salt Lake and the Baltimore Armour. 0-0 after 45 minutes, but it wasn't for a lack of trying. Both teams had chances in the first half as the ball slid in for Ledesma. Ledesma did well to put it back across goal, but played away. Another look here. Matching him step for step was Tombini, and then a good job by Eichelberger to push it out. Well, at the other end, a beautiful combination play. And a great job by Maggioni to play this across, and that shot had the keeper beat, but it was cleared off the line. Frustration for Nichols as he was close to opening the scoring for Baltimore. Another look again. Great job by Maggioni. So many players would have panic spinned and tried to shoot himself. He shielded the ball off the keeper, picked his head up, and found Nichols in the middle. And another opportunity for Sotos. He dragged it, and it was not only a good save from Eichelberger, but an even better job to push it to the side, rather back into the middle. And Real Salt Lake had been looking to pick out that corner, unable to on numerous occasions, thanks to the great goalkeeping of Eichelberger. And then at the other end, Sordo got it to the back post, and it eventually fell for Maggioni, but he was unable to get his effort on frame. So it was a great reverse ball for Maggioni. Sordo was able to lift it over Ochoa, and then it was a great save by Pierre. Otherwise, it would have been tapped into the back post, and it was a tough effort for Maggioni as it came back to him. Had both the goalkeeper and a defender flying at him. Well, RSL has lived dangerously at moments, but they've also created moments of danger of their own. They need just a point out of this one to go through to the quarterfinals, which will be played on Monday. But you know that they don't want it to go down to the wire. They don't want to just be holding on to a 0-0 draw. Expect Baltimore to come flying out of the gates as they need a goal here in this one. They need all 3 points in order to advance, but it will be Real Salt Lake to get us underway for the final 45 minutes here in Group A. It will be a free kick for Real Salt Lake. Toya goes over it. Weren't alerted to any substitutions at halftime. Ball over the top for Ledesma. Flag stays down. Back to Soto. Unable to weave his way around Detweiler. And this shot comes in, and it's well wide of Eichelberger's goal off the foot of Eric Verhin. So it'll be another goal kick for Eichelberger. It's been sensational in this game. Part of a defense that gave up just 29 goals in the regular season and has given up just 1 goal here at the playoffs so far. That coming on match day 1 in their 1-1 draw with Orlando City. Arriaga playing that one back to Verhin. Thought he had space to turn and go forward. But it's a RSL side that likes to play touch, 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 touch. Pass and move, pass and move. Pierre unable to skip by Gradinos. Granados weaves his way through midfield. Back for Granados. Granados thinking about it. Instead slides it out for Nichols. Stefan Nichols has Canner in support. Instead runs into a wall of RSL jerseys. Arriaga over the top for Soto. He's stolen in between the center backs here. Soto's taking himself a bit out wide, able to cut it back and get off a shot, but it's easy for Eichelberger in the end. It was a great ball from Arriaga over the top. Soto's first few touches took him out wide. In the end, was able to cut it back past Weber, but his shot was rolled tamely into the arms of Eichelberger, who had his near post covered. Verhin trying to fly through the back line. It's a good turn from Williams. Had his jersey held, it will be a free kick. Williams extremely frustrated. You see Williams did have a lot of space in front of him. Had he been able to get by, felt that a card should have come out. Referee Chris Ruska rather, saying just a free kick. Williams saying, look at how stretched my shirt is. Flag stays down. Played across, but out of bounds. Be a corner kick for the Baltimore Armour, looking for the game's opening goal. Headed away by Canales. Shot back in from Sordo, and Armour have the lead. Scenes of jubilation in Oceanside. Baltimore Armour have broken the deadlock in the 50th minute. And it's Sordo with his 17th goal this season. And as things stand, it's the Baltimore Armour who will be heading through to the quarterfinals. Cleared away by Soto, and Armour smash it the other way first time. Underneath the dive of Dade Ochoa in the RSL goal. th goal for Sordo in his 29th appearance. He struck that beautifully.
Goal scored in the 50th minute by the Baltimore Armour, number 9, Sordo.
Christian Sordo has put the Baltimore Armour in front. Now 40 minutes away from the quarterfinals. Still plenty of time for RSL to respond. My, how that spices things up. Pierre. Hasso wins the throw-in on the far side. Verkin loses out. Off of him last. Throw-in quickly taken. Headed away by Batan. And it'll be a throw-in for the goal scorer, Sordo. Takes it quickly, looking for Williams. He's one-on-one with Batan. Spins away from Batan. Couldn't beat Ochoa at his near post. It's a good effort from Williams. Great job to spin away from Batan and create that space for himself. And the long ball looking for Soto. Gets it off the foot of Detweiler. It's a bit of a heavy touch. Soto puts it back in the danger area, and RSL are level. Luis Arriaga, so often the assist man, this time gets his name up in lights. Two goals in the space of 2 minutes, and the tide has turned back in RSL's favor. Now it's a result that would put them through, as Arriaga punches it in off the post. Soto, so often the goal scorer, this time turns provider. And it was Arriaga who pounced.
Goal scored in the 53rd minute by Real
After
Salt
no
Lake
goals in the
and
first
Baltimore.
half, we have two in the space of 2 minutes early in the second, and it's 1-1 between RSL and Baltimore Armour. Williams chasing. Pierre gets there. He'll put it into a really awkward position. Verhin and Canales able to deal with it, and that will be a foul and a yellow card as well. The yellow card going against Sordo. So Sordo chasing. And getting back was Hasso, and he got the touch first as Sordo was flying in. See the Baltimore Armour Academy players just behind the free kick. Well, all the way at the other end, there's your RSL Academy. And these players, you know, they know each other so well. They play up in training with each other. They go to the games together to watch the Real Monarchs SLC, the USL side, and the MLS team play. Really is a family atmosphere here in the US Soccer Development Academy. As one coach said to me, you don't play for any particular team until you play for the first team. Another coach said to me, it doesn't matter what team you play for, you have to be willing to battle and die for the crest. You know, that's why these players are all in, whether they're on the field or behind the boards for either of these academies. Pierre's long ball. Soto to chase. The architect of the first goal, Soto, has 44 goals on the season. This time wins a free kick in a dangerous area in terms of having a free opportunity to set the table. It's Alexis Canales who's over it. They're stacked up at the far top of the box. Now making their way in. It's a beautiful ball. It's a gorgeous second goal for RSL. And it's Soto with his 45th goal of the season. You can't stop Soto scoring. Never seems to be a question of if, but rather when. And this time it's in the 56th minute. Gorgeous ball sent in by Canales. And it was Soto who got there first. Look at the way he snapped his neck muscles across that ball to get his header beyond Eichelberger in the Baltimore Armour goal. Soto with a goal and assist, and RSL have gone from 1-0 down to 2-1 up in the space of 4 minutes.
Goal scored in the 56th minute for Real Salt Lake by number 9, Sebastian Soto.
Ledesma. Verhin. Ledesma checks in. Leaves it right back off for Verhin. To the play catch. Maggioni pressuring. The Armour need all 3 points. Need 2 goals now. Real Salt Lake, they won't want to, but they can afford to even spot a goal. Ledesma. Arriaga! Unable to find his second of the afternoon. Quickly out for Granados. Inside for Canner. That was a beautiful ball from Ledesma, perfectly weighted into the stride of Arriaga as there's a foul on the far side. Babakian has to be careful in kicking that ball over the boards. And the yellow card for Hasso. And Babakian being told that you'll see a yellow card too if you do that again. So it's Hasso who becomes the latest player to go into the referee's book, the 59th minute. It was a tough challenge. Hasso standing up Mayer. Chris Ruska had two players to talk to on that occasion. The Armour look to go back with it. They'll try and pass their way through this RSL defense. And they win a throw-in on the far side. 118 goals this season now for RSL. DA's second best offense in the regular season, and the goals continuing to fly in here in the playoffs for the Claret and Cobalt. Ledesma's throwing. Toyaga gets it back to Canales. It was his free kick, flighted in. Soto got there first, powered his header past Equalizer for the game's third goal, RSL's second. As Toyaga brings it down. Quickly forward. Babekian, Armenian U-20 international, plays it back. And the long ball forward. And Soto is beaten to the punch by Eichelberger. On the hour mark in Oceanside. No goals in the first half. They've been flying in here in the second. 3 in the space of 6 minutes. Christian Sordo giving Baltimore the early lead. But then Arriaga and Soto responding for Real Salt Lake. This is Granados. Running at Pierre, cutting inside. Granados trying to knife his way through. Showed a bit too much of it as it was cleared away. Arriaga. Love the way his head's always on a swivel. Even with the ball at his feet. Can see him checking every angle. That's Ledesma. Soto, little touchback for Arriaga. Looking to return the flavor, but the offside flag is up. And Ledesma knew it as he stopped chasing that ball even before hearing the referee's whistle. Mike Marciano preparing his first substitution of the afternoon for Baltimore. It's going to be Alex Stevenson who will check in for the Baltimore Armour. Stevenson playing up from the 16-17s. This will be his third game at the 18-19 level. And so it's Stevenson who's on. And it's Weber Stay who's done. Stevenson already committed to Penn State University. In 2018 alone, 1,056 academy players signed to play college soccer. Sorto gets it back for Tombini. Slides it over for Stevenson's first touch of the afternoon. Future Nittany Lion gets it back to Tombini.
Substitution in the 63rd minute, number 50, Alex Stevenson.
Now Stevenson cutting inside. Cleared away. It will be the Armour's ball in the 64th minute. This one of over 70 games being played in the Development Academy today here in Oceanside. 625 games total over 14 days here at the SoCal Sports Complex. Real Salt Lake have responded so well since giving up what was a glorious 50th minute strike from Christian Sordo. Scored 2 goals within the next 6 minutes, and they have the 2-1 lead. Back in, slides it through, and Eichelberger gets there before Soto. It's been a good duel between striker and goalie. Sordo slow to get up behind the play. Stevenson looking for Sordo, and it's won back by Arriaga. Another look, and it was a good ball through. Such good reading of the game by Eichelberger to come off his line. So many goalkeepers would have hesitated allowing Soto to get in. Not Eichelberger. Bebekian, dispossessed. It's the Armour to go the other way in the 65th minute, looking for Williams. Working one-on-one against Canales. A missed touch from Mayer allows Bebekian to overtake. Space for Ledesma. He's looking to slide it through that back line, and now he wills. The late run comes in from Arriaga. Arriaga sends it across. Oh, and that should have been the 3rd goal. Soto rarely misses those type of opportunities. Well, that's why he's the team leader in assist. So many players would have looked to shoot this. Instead, Arriaga played it across, and Soto picked his head up before he made contact. Beautiful reverse ball into the path of Arriaga's diagonal run. Picks his head up, sees Soto arriving. He couldn't place it in. Getting word that the Armour are going to prepare a second substitution. Sverhin gets it out wide. There'll be a free kick RSL. Yassine El Calhoun getting set to check in. Was the scorer of the game-winning goal against BW Gachi 2 days ago. Checking in at a moment where Baltimore needs some magic. RSL have taken this game by the scruff of the neck. As Toyaga gets it back. Natai Batan. Near side Pierre. Forward for Soto. He's 45 goals, Soto, but his hold-up play is also exceptional. Broadcaster's curse as the ball's won back by Armour. It's Sordo flying forward. He plays it back across, and it's poked away before Nichols could get there. So it'll be Stevenson to take. Nichols tried to pop it in for Stevenson. Intercepted by RSL. Soto. No foul, says the referee. This is Williams. Still going Williams. And good defense by Eric Verken. Bebekian to go the other way for RSL. Arriaga lets it roll for Ledesma. Has Soto to his left. Bebekian to his right. And stepping in was Tombini. It's a good mazy dribble to open things up for Stevenson on the near side. Into the middle for Sordo. He wants to have a go! Sordo second, and we're level in the 69th minute. It's a lifeline for the Armour. They've drawn level here, still need a third goal, but they're back in it. Stevenson slid it inside. And Sordo, lovely little drop of the hits to put off Toyaga. And then picked out the far corner. It's just that little move right there to open up the space. And that dipping shot, perfectly placed from Christian Sordo. Ledesma. Back for Soto. It's Bebekian out wide. Back for Ledesma. Toyaga. Toyaga lost it. He's in a battle with Granados. Able to get it back to Bebekian. RSL came into today on 6 points. They will still go through with a draw. The Baltimore Armour need all 3 points. They do get a free kick here, as Mayer was brought to ground. Reese Mayer will play his college ball at Notre Dame. El Calhoun, who was standing up in between the benches, has gone back and is sitting back down on the bench. So that substitution we were talking about never actually materialized. But Christian Sordo did score, and it's at 2-2. Now high pressure from Baltimore, chasing the game's third goal. They've won the ball back in mid through Stevenson. Stevenson with the assist on the last goal. Gets it out wide for Nichols. Pierre marshalling him. Nichols able to get it back. Tombini inside for Nichols. Into the channel for Stevenson. Flag stays down. Left off for Maggioni. Far side for Granados. Clipped into the middle. The space is open up for Williamson. It's 3-2 Baltimore. It's Williams. And now it's Baltimore who'd be heading to the quarterfinals. Two goals in 3 minutes have Baltimore back on top. Williams with his 21st goal of the season. And is that the goal that will take them through to the quarterfinals? Still 18 minutes left. But right now, the scales are favoring Baltimore. Well, RSL have already turned the tide once. Can they do it again? As we have a substitution. It's Isidro Sanchez who checks in. 18th appearance of the season for Sanchez. And RSL now must go in search of a goal. What a game this has been. How the tide has turned often and turned dramatically. From no goals in the first half to 5 inside the first 30 of this second. And it'll be a free kick for the Baltimore Honor. It's Nichols who won it. He quickly takes it. Maggioni. That pass too far for Sordo. Baton's clearance. Bought down by Toyaga. Slips it inside for Arriaga. Out wide for Sanchez's first touch of the afternoon. Two substitutes going at it. This comes back for Pierre. He's looking to get forward. Pierre continued his run. Pierre has space down the left. Plays it across. And hooked clear. Stevenson. Inside for Sordo. Granados chases it down on the far side. And now holding it up, Sordo screaming for it in the middle. As Sordo stopped his run as Granados tried to clip it into him. Now the break could be on here for RSL if they can hurry. Ball over the top. Soto gets in front of Tobini. Tobini able to get a foot on it. And Eichelberger will take. Final 15 minutes. The final match day in Group A. Armour looking to hold on to this 3-2 lead that would take them above Real Salt Lake in the table on 7 points to their 6. Maggioni gets a hand up. And it'll be a free kick for Baltimore. This one off the head of Pierre, and it'll be a corner kick for the Armour. First corner kick of the half for either side. Coming over to take is Williams, who, as it stands now, has the game-winning goal. Well, it's a good ball in. Sordo, that's where he scored from. The header flicked up and plucked out of the air by David Ochoa. Back in. Looking for the run of Soto. That will come all the way back for Eichelberger. As the corner came in. This is where Sordo scored from the last time. This time just popped it back in, and a great flicked header to cause problems. But nothing really to concern Ochoa in the end. This is a good back header, but Ochoa read it well. RSL need a goal. A draw would be enough for them to go through. But right now it's Baltimore who are poised to take all 3 points. Ledesma steps inside of Nichols. Arriaga back to Ledesma. Arriaga let it run. Flag stays down. Player goes down. That was a good challenge on that far side to deny Bebekian. Eichelberger, you can bet every time the ball's in his hands, he'll take all 6 seconds. Cleared by Bebekian. but it'll be a throw-in for Baltimore. So Ledesma neatly let run by Arriaga for Soto. He pushed it out for Bebekian. And even though he went to ground, the challenge was a fair one. Stevenson directing traffic in front of him as he takes this throw-in. Sordo had it stabbed away from him. Arriaga, little touchback for Ledesma, but that ball looking for the run of Sanchez goes out of bounds. So it'll be another throw-in for Stevenson. Well, now it all comes down to how does the Armour manage this game? How are they able to see it out? Took the lead, went down 2-1, and have come back to make it 3-2. Goals have been scored in bunches here in the second half. Hasso, Arriaga, unable to pierce the back line of Baltimore. Ledesma swings it to Sanchez. Has a step on Stevenson. Plays it inside and cleared away before Arriaga could get to it. Pierre. Come in as a center back since Sanchez has come on. And now Sanchez staying very high on the near side. Well, the ball is played around the back on the far. Long searching ball right onto the thigh of Sanchez. But played into Sordo. Forward for Williams. Has Nichols ahead of him, and Sordo flying down the far side. Just couldn't lift it over Bebekian. Arriaga leaves it off for Sanchez. Far side looking for Bebekian. Headed down only as far as Soto. And good second effort from Detweiler to get it clear. Pumped right back in. Swinging and missing is Soto. Sanchez unable to keep it in. As we're inside the final 10 minutes. And the Armour making a double substitution as they look to see this game out. And it's Stephen Nichols who's coming off. The captain who will play his college ball at Loyola. He's put in a tremendous shift in the midfield. And now Yassine El Cahoon will make his entrance into this match. We thought he was going to come in earlier. Ended up staying on the bench a little bit longer, but now he is in. And it's Granados, the second player whose day is done. And he's replaced by Camden Oren. So it's a midfielder for a defender, as you'd expect from Mike Marchino's side. Mike Marciano knows something about winning championships. He won 2 of them as a player at the University of Maryland. Sanchez's cross is rolled along the ground, and it's easy pickings for the Armour who clear. 83rd minute. Real Salt Lake need a goal, or else it's the Baltimore Armour who will go through to the quarterfinals on Monday. So many of these RSL players were in the semifinals last year with the 15-16s. And 2 years ago, their 17-18s lost in the final. As this one played in, there were no takers at the back post, and it will be a goal kick for Baltimore. Martin Vasquez getting set to hit the switch on a double substitution for Real Salt Lake. It's Zaire Vasquez. Who will be coming in. Jonathan Castro will also enter this match for RSL as Sanchez wins it back for the Utah club. A bit of an awkward ball. And still chasing his Sordo, and he got to it. And he'll be whistled for clattering into David Ochoa. Free kick taken quickly, so not a chance to get the substitution off. And this wind bringing the ball backwards. As Sordo did get there. That's great play by Ochoa. Goalkeeper so good with his feet. Little feint to put Sordo off. Played it away and also won the free kick. So it was good work to get himself out of trouble from Ochoa. And allows Real Salt Lake to attack in the 85th minute. Sanchez's cross hanging up in the air. And it's comfortable for Eichelberger. Eichelberger's kick hanging in the wind that is swirling around at the SoCal Sports Complex. Williams. Score of the third goal. And skying to win that header was Batan. Ledesma has space to attack. Was trying to drive it into the gap for Babekian, and instead it's cleared away by Tombini. Ledesma turns. This time rolled into the feet of Soto. Off for Arriaga. Out wide for Sanchez. Sanchez plays it across, and it's a good clearance. Pierre steps in front and wins it at the second time of asking. How important could that challenge be? Sanchez's cross, lacking the necessary quality. Eichelberger punched out. One back at the top of the box by Canales. Even the center backs are forward now. Arriaga trying to find a bit of space. Ledesma. Arriaga. Verhin. Arriaga. Back to Verhin. Verhin clipped in the box. And the referee says play on. Verhin still down. This ball over the head of Soto. And Stevenson will shield it out for a goal kick. As Toyaga, who will come off as he is replaced by Zaire Vasquez. Jonathan Castro also coming on as Pierre will come out. Castro making his 17th appearance of the season, all of them coming off the bench. And this ball skips off the head of Sanchez. It'll be Baltimore's ball.
Substitution in the 87th minute for Real Salt Lake.
Off of Batan.
Coming in is number 11 to number 4 and number 15. to
Baltimore
number 7.
just 3+ minutes away from a very famous victory that would put them into the quarterfinals for the first time in just their 3-year history. What a sensational achievement it would be for the Maryland club. And El Cajon will be whistled for the foul. '88th minute. And it's Natai Batan to bring it forward for RSL. Williams is chasing him. Batan wasn't wise to it, and the Armour have won it back. Now Williams just looking to keep the ball. Sordo unable to step inside of Verhin, who guides it back to his keeper. Ledesma. Oh, it's a determined tackle. Arriaga. And there's just no way through the Armour defense. Sanchez gets it across. They're queuing up across the top of the box as the early cross comes in and Stevenson heads it away. The Armour defense has been welded together so well. Final minute and a half of normal time. And I don't think Canales realized how far out of his goal Ochoa was. It's all hands on deck now for the Armour defense. Real Salt Lake pouring forward once again. Top of the box, looking for the flick on. And now it's Sordo to go the other way for the Armour. Sordo running at Vergen. Leaves it off for Williams. Can Williams put this game to bed? Ochoa says no. In the final minute of the 90, Real Salt Lake looking for the equalizer, as this will roll out of bounds for an Armour throw-in in the final 30 seconds of regulation. Tombini saying, hey guys, help us over the finish line. And the rest of the academy standing behind the boards on the far side obliged. It's this one over the head of Sordo. Baton has to get it back to his keeper. Ochoa well out of his goal now, pushing everyone forward. 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes for RSL to find the goal that will take him through. It's looking for Sanchez. It's headed back to Arriaga by Stevenson. Shot takes a deflection. It's across. RSL have found the equalizer in stoppage time. And it's Sebastian Soto. Who else? Stevenson's header fell right back to Arriaga. His deflected shot fell kindly for Sanchez, who played it across. And in the end, it's a tap-in for RSL's most potent goal scorer. 46th goal of the season for Sebastian Soto. And it's the one that all but puts RSL into the quarterfinals. It's heartbreak for an Armour side that has given them everything they can handle. But we said that goals have been scored in bunches in this game. It could very well not be finished yet. There's still 2 minutes of the minimum 3 here in stoppage time. Now it's the Armour's turn to find a goal and RSL's turn to sit back and defend. But it's Stevenson who gets to the byline, but the cross is too close to Ochoa. What a game this has been. A 6-goal thriller. And is there still to be even more drama here in Oceanside? Played over the top, but nobody making the run. And Ochoa is going to invite El Cajun to come all the way in before picking this ball up. Final minute of the minimum 3 minutes of stoppage time, and whatever else Chris Rusko wants to add on at the end of that. So Ochoa hammers it down to the other end. Soto, the 2-goal hero. And it'll be a free kick for Real Salt Lake. Claret and Cobalt on their way to the last 8 here at the U.S. Soccer Development Academy U-18-19 playoffs. And you feel that this is time to take it into the corner for Ledesma. Well, Stevenson won't let him, but it's good shielding from Ledesma. The cry from Martin Vasquez is take it to the corner. Whistle could go any second now. Is there time for one last rush for the Baltimore Armour? But not if they concede that foul. Real Salt Lake seconds away from advancing to the quarterfinals out of Group A. More time will be added on. First ball left the premises of the stadium, and the second ball didn't quite reach Stevenson. Is there time for one last rush for Baltimore? Popped up in the air. El Cajon trying to bring it down. Push forward for Williamson to chase. Williams won't be able to get there. Well, the teams share the spoils in a 6-goal thriller, but it's a result that suits Real Salt Lake as they advance to the quarterfinals as the winners of Group A. Sordo started the scoring with a blast from the top of the box to put the Armour in front 1-0 in the 50th minute, but Arianka answered back 2 minutes later, and then Sebastian Soto put Real Salt Lake back in front. But then Sordo got his second in the 69th, and Williams scored a goal that would have put the Baltimore Armour into the quarterfinals in the 72nd. But then Sebastian Soto popped up again to tap the ball into the empty net in stoppage time to give Real Salt Lake the point they needed to advance as Group A winners. A tremendous match comes to an end, and we have more for you coming up here on USSoccerDA.com. As coming up shortly, it's the New York Red Bulls taking on Crew SC. But for now, for Alex Bousquet, Scott Cheney, and Chase Neidig at Turbo Sports, and Andy Chevsek at US Soccer, I'm Mark Serber saying so long for the first of our 2 feature games today as it finishes RSL 3, Baltimore Armour 3.